Hi guys, happy bank holiday to you. We're out in Bumble. Haven't put the thermal trousers on, and that little wee run down the dual carriageway, I can feel it. Still chilly, Willie. Can't tell you what temperature is because it appears my battery's gone in the temperature gauge there. So, got a wee story for you from when I was an apprentice. Worked in the building site in the mid-80s, guys, serving my time, but got a bad apprenticeship. Well, anyway, the building trade was in a bad way, and there was lots of joiners getting paid off, which left a glut of apprentices. So there was 8 of us taken into the centre of Aberdeen to a new build that was happening where the old Ice Rink used to be, up off George Street in Aberdeen. So very quickly 4 of them jacked it in because they were supposed to be serving their time, and we were taken in to do a bit of what would you say, demolition, and taking the building down to the joists and basically the stonework. So it was knocking down walls, throwing stuff out the window into skips basically. So we was coming home as black as the ace of spades every night, guys. Well, anyway, cutting the story short a wee bit, we negotiated, the 4 of us that were left, Trevor, Jeffrey and Neil and myself. Well, the 4 of us got on very well, guys. We ended up going out for drinks at a weekend and stuff like that. Anyhows, we'd negotiated like £20 bonus, £10 bus fares and a couple of quid dirty money. So when you're earning the guts of £32 extra a week, guys, that was a lot of money back in the mid-80s. So instead of coming home with £55, you know, I had another 30 to go on to that, guys. So we were comfortably well off. Anyway, we'd done the second floor, the first floor, ground floor, and by this time we were down to the cellar. So 2 of the boys, Neil and Jeff, were away out doing a job for Derek, the site agent. See if I get past this bus, guys, just a second. Can't really see going up a hill, so, and this is the widest section. So they were away doing a job for Derek, the site agent, and it left me and Trevor down in the cellar. And we'd made a little wee trestle thing to fill up our rubbish and carry up the narrow staircase to throw it in the skip, because it was obviously a narrow staircase. We had a generator with piped lighting, 110 volts down there, so we could kind of see what we're doing. And we were into this cupboard, like a walk-in storeroom cupboard, and it was the height of wee Mark, so you can understand it was only about 5'4", guys, and the doorway was even lower, so we kind of, even wee Mark had to duck. Well, Trevor found a small gas canister, like a camping gas thing. We'll get past the bus. Thank you. So Trevor said, you know, you're young apprentices, 19-year-old I think at the time, 20 maybe, you know, up for a laugh. And Trevor says, Mark, puncture a hole in that with your shovel and I'll throw a match at it. And I'm like, don't be daft, it's bloody gas, man, you know. So anyway, because we were young and daft, aye, okay. So I started trying to slice a hole in it with the edge of my shovel, and it was just denting it in. So Trevor pushed me out the way and says, "Get out of my way, you useless shite." Picked up this bit of rock it was there and sort of dropped this rock on the top of it, and boom. So by this time wee Mark is taken several steps backward, and I moved into the next room behind us, out the doorway, and Trevor by this time is now fumbling in his pocket for his matches, and got a match out, struck the match on the side of his box and raised said match up and just went like that, guys, with the match. And as soon as he went like that with the match, I had seen from where I was standing, by this time several steps back, the gas had, with the light shining into the room, or what poor light it was, I could see that the gas had basically evaporated into the room. And I wonder. So Trevor's just gone like this with the match. Woof! Boom! The whole room, guys. Oh, sorry, Bumble power. The whole room, guys, was a ball of flames, which had basically engulfed Trevor. Couldn't see him. Ball of flames. By this time, my heart's pounding like God knows what, and the flame was kind of self-contained in this sort of walk-in cupboard with shelving. So unbeknown to us, there was a corridor just outside the room to the right, which basically led to the corridor and the stairs going up out to the tenement building to the backyard, where Jeff and Neil were. So they'd seen this, basically it must have been like a puff of smoke come out the back door, and were like, what the heck's this? And ran to investigate. So in this time, Trevor walked out to the storeroom like one of the black and white minstrels. Singed eyebrows, he'd a singed moustache, and not a fringe left on his face. And I couldn't do nothing for laughing. But we hadn't noticed that with the fire, one of the joists from underneath the floor had kind of caught fire. So Jeffrey had very quickly got off his bomber jacket and basically put the fire out with his bomber jacket. The two of us then made our way outside to sit in a pile of chuckies that had been delivered, and this was for the floor insulation. It helps to stop sound and retain heat. So we were out there, both of us. I was as white as a ghost, and Trevor looked like one of the black and white minstrels. So we're panicking like a banshee, because we basically thought, hey, they're wanting the demolition of it. Well, not quite the demolition, but they're wanting this building down to stonework. We could have nearly burnt the bloody building to the ground. And we were thinking, you know, days after, holy smoke, could you imagine if that got onto the local paper and that, a couple of apprentices, we'd have been locked up. Just for a prank, guys, a silly prank. But that's what you do when you're young and daft. I mean, obviously, you can kind of laugh about it now, but in hindsight, guys, bloody stupid, wasn't it? But yeah, so that is my story. Please like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you want to do, and we'll see you in the next one, guys. Ta-ra. See if we can switch you off now. Bye now.